Noong nalaman nila na may psoriasis ako, sabi nila, galis yan.
Sabi nila baka nanunuraw ako. Kakalaro ko sa labas ng bahay.
Sabi nila baka may nakain lang daw ako na hindi maganda.
Sabi nila, sa hangin daw ito nakukuha. Mawawala rin daw to.
Sabi nila, gamitin mo ito. Magsabon ka nito. Uminom ka nito. Gagaling ka.
Sabi nila, mag-sweater na lang daw ako para walang makakita.
Sabi nila, lumayo ako. Baka nakakahawa yung balat ko.
Sabi nila, hanggang dito na lang kami.
Sabi nila, wala raw akong kasama sa labang ito. Sabi ko, nandyan kayo. Panahon na para maitama lahat ng sabi-sabi. Kami naman ang pakinggan niyo.
Further ado, introducing our first guest. He is a diplomacy and international relations undergraduate, specializing in East and Southeast Asian studies and minoring in economics at the Ateneo de Manila University. With experience as an intern in the Senate of the Philippines, he developed a passion for youth development and formation and is advocating for befriending emotions. Currently, he is interning at the U.S. ASEAN Business Council until the end of the semester. Let us all welcome Ethan Oliveros. Woo!
Hello everyone! Thank you for having me. Hi Wax! Hi Dudes!
Hi Ethan!
Long time no see!
Long time no see.
Alright, so moving forward to our second guest. She is also an undergraduate at the Ateneo de Manila University. She became an active member of sector-based organizations within ADMU, which are Tugon and Speed. She's also holding leadership positions as a project director and undersecretary in her home organization.
Wow.
Lastly, she became an active member of the Commission on Anti-Sexual Misconduct and Violence, where she worked on proposing reforms that promote safer spaces for Ateneans. Let us all welcome Kuhlyn Salazar.
Hi, Kuhlyn!
Hello!
Hello, everyone! Hi!
Grabe, nung binabasa pa lang natin, I'm like, oh, whoa! Pero ayun, enough with the formalities. Hi, guys! How are you feeling tonight? Ay, pageant yun. How are you feeling tonight?
Grabe, pinapakapaman mo naman masyado, Jude. Isiyan mo lang, no? Pero yun na
Yan
lang.
nga
How
lang
are you
pala
guys?
tayo.
Grabe. Ang tagal na natin hindi nagkikita-kita, no?
True.
Personally.
Very excited ako for tonight since, ayun nga, ang tagal natin hindi nagkita. And I don't know, I'm just really excited about, what we're going to talk about later because I think Ollie and I, kayong dalawa rin naman, this is something that we are very passionate about. And something that, and I think this conversation that we're going to have is something that worth listening then, not just for tayong mga ka-age natin, but from for people, older people then as well.
I can't really wait kasi I feel like we're gonna learn so much more than what we're going to say. And I believe ganun din sana yung mga audience natin. And it's actually such a great honor to be here in itself. So like, thank you talaga Jutes and Wax for this opportunity and PsorPhil for having us.
Thank you then, guys. So, ayan, for the record, kaming apat, magkakilala na talaga kami since we all came from the same elementary school, which is St. Therese, and pati na rin high school, which is CMSH. Wow, shout out! Grabe! And syempre, since we want to keep this light, let's start with an icebreaker.
So, for our icebreaker, easy lang to, basic lang. So, it's called Never Have I Ever. So, Kuhlyn and Ethan, you may explain your answers kung gusto nyo i-defend, ganon. And syempre, our viewers can also comment down below their answers.
Yeah, so join guys kasi medyo masaya to, relatable. We made this somehow relatable for everyone to enjoy. And syempre, para fair na rin, sasali rin kami ni Wax. Kaya ayan, let us start. Ready na ba kayo, Kuhlyn and Ethan? So raise your 5 fingers na if you are ready. Right. Ayan, go Joaquim!
So for our first question, never have I ever nagsabing bahala na si Batman sa test.
Parang lahat ba?
Nag-mansay tayo, dapat normal na yun.
Diba?
Bahala na. Mga walang aral, no? Sabak na agad, bahala. Sorry.
Knowledge daw, ganun.
Teacher namin, pero ganun talaga kami.
Si Ma'am Velasco, she's watching pala. Hi, Ma'am.
Hi, Ma'am.
Sorry po, nabubuking na tayo.
Nabubuking kami. Okay,
ayan.
So
next is, never have I ever natulog habang nasa online meeting or class.
Ay?
Grabe, ang bait naman ni Kuhlyn. Never siya natulog.
Wait, no. Kasi ewan ko. Gusto ko kasi, sobrang galit ako na nalaman ko ng online tayo for 2 years. So gusto ko talagang i-maximize yung experience. So lagi ako naka-on-cam.
Okay.
Ayun, ewan ko, naawa kasi
lagi
ako
siya
sa mga
naka-on-cam, tas ganyan yung itsura
wala
niya.
ko ma-attend.
Diba? Kaya siguro yung mga kaklase niya, sobrang gusto rin pumasok para makita si Kuhlyn. Diba? Tama ba?
Yeah, siya yung batang on-cam sa block namin. Ako naman, yung nag-e-effort. Pero, effort. Sige, period. Nandun na lang. Kasi, meron mga morning classes talaga na ang hirap talaga. Ang hirap. I mean, lahat naman tayo naghihirap, pati yung professors, especially in the morning. Kasi it's not just hard for us, it's also hard for them. Kaya, na-appreciate ko na talaga yung effort ni Coco na mag-on-cam talaga. Kasi, grabe, parang hindi lang sarili niya tinutulungan niya, pati yung prof. Napaka-mind.
True.
Let's clap
for naman yun.
Ang galing. Okay, next one.
So next, never have I ever sumali sa isang TikTok trend.
Ayan. Alam mo, kasi si Coco at si Ollie, pumunta sa bahay namin yan, strat plan din nun ng PsorPhil. Tapos, sinayaw namin yung Kota Vibe. Sabay, that one. Kaya, hindi nyo pwedeng hindi ibabayan kasi sabay-sabay tayong sumayaw ng gabing yon.
Like, sino bang hindi, di ba? Sino bang hindi sumali sa TikTok trend? Kahit hindi nila ilagay sa TikTok, siguro kahit habang naliligo, nagtitiktok pa din, di ba?
Practice sa gilid.
Di ba?
Practice daw, Waki. Ay, sample daw.
Ay, mamaya na.
Okay, next one is, never have I ever sinabing deserve ko to sa Shopee or Lazada kahit hindi naman talaga. OMG! Oli, baba mo yan. Hindi talaga.
Hindi ko ibababa kasi masasabi ko deserve ko talaga. Deserve ko
Ay!
talaga.
Mindset na mindset na.
Delusional?
Ganun pala yun. Dapat talaga iniisip. Deserve ko talaga to. Deserve ko talaga.
Ikaw, Jots, anong latest purchase mo?
Parang,
deserve mo?
3 hours ago. Kasi deserve ko dahil sale. 50% off sa, ay bawal pala, baka bawal magsabi ng product, dito. Pero merong 50% off na makeup brand. Tapos 75 pesos lang yung lipstick nila.
Grabe naman.
Deserve ko yun. Alam niyo kung bakit. Kasi nanalo ako sa Mobile Legends ng isang round. Final, after ilang tries, nanalo ako. Thank you.
Congrats. Deserve mo. Deserve.
Thank you. Deserve ko talaga yun. Thanks.
Okay. So for our last never have I ever question. Never have I ever nakalimutan na on cam or on mic pala sa Zoom or any online platforms.
Yes.
Ako,
parang lahat naman. Talaga?
Ano ako dyan eh. Kumbaga, alerto ba? Alerto ako sa mga ganyan. Yung very conscious ako eh. Yung tipong bago ako gumalaw, like, oops, naka-mute ba ako? Naka-on ka? Baka.
Smart.
Diba? We'll never know.
Yan.
So kayo guys.
Deserve daw yung Shopee. Puro kamay. Sorry, mama. Nalasa ko yung comment ng mama ko. Mind daw ako ng mind. Oo, mga alas
1 PM
na. Gano'n, nagmamamind pa din ako doon. Mama, sorry.
Ayan na, binubuking ka na.
Yung kanina ako nagbayad nun na. So, ayun.
Alright.
Back to on mic or on cam. Anong say nyo doon? Bakit?
Same kami ni Waki. Ganun din ako. Pero may one time talaga, like, hindi ko alam kung ano nangyari. During our sock psych class yun, sinigawan yung kapatid ko. Kasi wala siya sa classroom. Tapos yun, bigla na nag-ring yung messenger ko, yung mga blockmates ko. Mini-message ko, nakaano ka? Ayun, once lang naman siya nangyari.
Face-to-face na kayo. Dati pa?
Dati oo. Hindi ngayon.
Okay.
Ako naman yung story ko doon, sobrang nakakaya. Pero, yung previous laptop ko kasi may sarili siyang mute button. So, mas nagre-rely ako doon kaysa sa Zoom. And merong one time, Christmas party yun ng specific subject namin. Tapos, kumakanta yung isang group ng Jingle Bells, gano'n, o kung ano man Christmas songs. Alam niyo naman experience kapag kumakanta ka sa Zoom, di ba? So, like, hindi kayo nagsasabay-sabay. Sabi ko, hala, ano nangyayari? Tapos, hindi siya naka-mute. So, sabi nung iba. So, parang
hindi sumasabay.
Sorry akin. Nagulat lang naman ako kasi yun yung first time ko makarinig ng synchronous na kanta sa Zoom.
Parang ganyan din yung experience ko actually. Recently lang din, parang 2 days ago. Kasi yung friend ko, may tinatanong siya na person. Tapos, hindi sinagot ng person. Like, hindi siya nag-on mic, hindi siya nag-chat. And ako on mic pala ako noon. Tapos sabi ko, back to you. Tapos, narinig na.
Oh no.
So, nag-unmute tayo. Like, sorry po. Tapos, unmute tayo. Okay. So, ayan na nga. Back to you pa. Yan. So, nag-break na nga ang ice. Parang kanina pa nga na-break yung ice pagkapasok pa lang nila. Pero, we need to play that game to, encourage then our audience to participate and answer. So, kung may mga gusto kayong never have I ever dyan, comment nyo, ganun. And we'll try to answer, of course. So, that is it. Let us start with our Q&A. Ayan. Woohoo!
Okay, so guys, are you ready? Kuhlyn, Ethan, are you ready? All right, so for our first question, let's talk about your advocacies. What made you advocate for them? Let's go first with Kuhlyn.
Okay, so I'm part of a lot of orgs, and all of those orgs have their own advocacies. So when Jutay asked me kung ano yung advocacy ko, I thought, ang dami, and hindi ko alam. Nasa age pa ako, like trying to determine kung ano talaga yung gusto kong i-advocate after college, spend all my time and energy on. And I realized na if there's one thing I want to tell the youth, it's to always keep in mind that maintaining a work-life balance is one of the most important thing na kailangan mong i-master. So that's something that I want to say na I'm advocating for. And siguro I'll explain later on na lang kasi I've got lots of questions naman why. So, Ollie, how about you?
Ako naman for me, feeling ko magsa-story time ako. Kasi yung first ever time na na-encounter namin yung question na yan is when pauwi kami sa Senate nung nag-internship kaming tatlo ni Jutay, ni Coco. Tapos we asked if you were to advocate for something, what is it? Tapos I remember answering na youth development information. So kasama yun dun nga sa in-introduce nyo kanina. But with my experiences in the past, with the turbulent adolescence, parang ang daming nangyayari. I was living all alone for most of my high school life. I was doing my best juggling academics, extracurricular activities, and actually busy transitioning into adulthood kasi even existing before sa adolescence, parang ang hirap na yan. No? Now, what was plaguing my mind and heart dati is yung question na, why am I doing all this? Why was I even striving for honors? Why did I choose to be active in extracurriculars? Bakit ako tumakbo ng gantong position? And why was I even trying so hard to rush and find out kung ano personality ko? Ano branding ko? Who am I as a student, as a son, as a friend, and generally me as Ollie? And that got me feeling very overwhelmed. And with my journey here in college, I've encountered so much. I've reached out for professional help, and through yung mga toolkits, yung mga affirmations na sinuggest nila sa akin, isa sa mga parts ng youth development information that I saw that needed attention was their mental health. So I was really happy when you reach out to me to talk about youth mental health and work and college and everything, kasi it's really something that I'm passionate about, as Coco said before. So befriending emotions is that one step that you need to understand yourself better and to situate yourself sa isang emotional state na you would want to be in. Ayun lang.
Yes. Actually, yeah, yung mga experiences natin in life and the things we know already, pati na rin yung mga hardships or mga napagdaanan natin, makes us start to fight for something kasi minsan we don't want other people to experience the same struggles that we've been through. But sometimes di talaga may iwasan yun, kaya we just continue to be vocal and make them feel na, oy, may karamay ka, nandito ako, and I will express this, and I will say this para masabi na naririnig kita, parang gano'n. So yeah, that's a good one, guys. Thank you so much for sharing
good
that.
Answers.
Yep.
So, next question.
How do you think the youth can relate to your advocacy, especially now that the likes of us are starting to enter the workforce or do internships?
Siguro I can start, no? Pero kasi, as I've said sa previous answer ko, kasi us youth are like facing crossroads after crossroads. Ang dami nating decisions na kailangan gawin. Transitioning itself is hard. And it's so easy to lose track where we are physically, mentally, and emotionally. And I know na I'm not speaking just for myself, especially approaching college, internships, or whatever it is you're dealing with. It feels easy to be overwhelmed. And befriending emotions would help in this case kasi it will offer you a better introspection, yung pagtingin mo sa sarili mo, yung pag-reflect mo. And by looking within you, you'll have a better grip at the things you do. And honestly, I can see a lot of people just replying same whenever you rant about yung hardships mo, kung you're keeping it together ba, ganon. And I'm not saying na matik ma-master mo na yung befriending emotions. And what I'm saying is that constantly making an effort to listen to what you're feeling gives you more room to breathe when work makes your skin crawl, or even just thinking of Canvas gives you migraines, diba? Like what Coco advocates for, befriending your emotions provides an opportunity for growth and not just productivity. And a lot of youth can actually interchange the two kasi we're driven to be productive and we're sad when we're not productive. So there's a lot of stigma behind those concepts. So befriending emotions would actually give you a more better perspective to understand what the situation you're in. How about you naman, Coco?
Ayan. So, nagbabanter lang tayong dalawa dito, no? I love that, befriending emotion. That's something that's a term na I never thought of that before. So that's really interesting. What I'm about to say is kind of very connected to what Ollie just mentioned earlier. Pareho kaming DIPIR, International Relations major. So we have a lot of pol-sci classes. And a good chunk of our sophomore year, we discussed about neoliberalism, ganon. And meron pa ngayong Ford, this system na nag-result on 8-hour work week, ganon. And that made me realize, kind of understand. I suggest reading on SOCSI, social science topics kasi medyo technical siya pakinggan, pero it kind of makes you really understand why we have this dreadful feeling whenever we're not doing anything. Kasi we are raised in a system, our education system actually, it's kind of designed to produce slaves to the capitalist system, And that's the reason, kasi we're made to believe na if we're not doing anything, if we're not producing money, if we're not doing any, like if we're not professional sa ganitong age, hindi tayo worth it, like hindi natin deserve yung mga natatanggap. And so it just makes you feel really bad about yourself. And that, realizing that after reading all those readings sa social science namin did not help me like face myself, for example, but it did help me understand my situation, the world's situation, kung bakit ganito yung nangyayari sa ating youth ngayon. And that helped me recalibrate kung nasaan na ako. Like, freshman year pa lang gusto ko may internship na ako, namomblema na ako. I don't know what I want to be in the future. Do I want to be a lawyer? Do I want to be a doctor? And that helped me understand, maybe I just need to sit down for a while, breathe muna. I don't need to be like a corporate slave. I don't need to do all those things right now. I have a whole life ahead of me. People back then didn't even bother about internships before. Yung parents ko, they were what? Yung tatay ko janitor yun dati sa Shakey's. And now look at where he is. So, it's the system eh. I'm sorry if this is the pol-sci major in me talking, pero it's the system. It's what's making you think all of that. And honestly, just sitting back, sitting down and recalibrating, it's a really good start. I'm sorry. That's my answer for that question.
Yeah, true. Pero, sabi nga nila, life isn't a race, diba? So, pero I think pa rin naman na this is really the time to know oneself, kung saan ba tayo nararapat, kung paano ba natin itatakal yung mga ganitong pagkakataon, issues, opportunities, and everything. And this time, marami pa rin kasi natatakot to venture on things like internships nga, gantong classes, ganito ganyan. Pero we don't need to bilisan naman yung kailangan natin gawin in life to move forward and to have a perfect life. Basta pacing lang din. Tama yung sinabi ni Kuhlyn, yung kwento ng sa papa niya na eto, dito siya nag-start. But look at him now, diba? Tito Max is, wow. So, yeah, thank you for that. That's really insightful.
Ako, singit ko lang. Natutuwa lang ako to hear from these guys na parang we all have our own sides and points and perspectives, and even as Judes parang meron tayong advocacies syempre personally na hindi lang natin kumbaga hindi lang natin ilalabas yet, no, pero at some point we know that there's a certain point in our discussion na where we all meet and we have one purpose di ba? So, natutuwa lang ako to hear from these guys right now, and yun nga, we can see and we can hear as we listen na they have their drive talaga, na yung eagerness, no? Kasi meron silang mga pinanggagalingan din Kaya yung saktong-sakto rin yung topic natin about mental health, yun nga, befriending emotions and everything. So, ayun, very nice, no?
Yep. TBH yung mga experiences nila, Ollie nila, Coco, yun yung nag-bring up sa kanila para ipaglaban yung mga gusto nila, para masabi yung mga ganyan sa atin. Kasi it's a good sharing na nasasabi nila to sa atin. Kasi TBH, ito, parang, uy, ngayon ko lang narinig, ganito, ganyan. And it's good na I'm learning from them also. And we are all learning from them, right? So, thank you so much, guys. Ang ganda ng mga sagot nyo.
Diba? Question number 2 pa lang yata tayo, Juts.
Oo nga.
Grabe na.
Oo,
grabe
ang dami
na. Balitaktakan.
Yep. What if
Alright.
iwan na natin sila, tapos sila na lang yung
Sila na ang
mag-discuss?
mag-host.
Oo, parang medyo okay na. Kasi they can banter eh. Siyempre, parang,
Yeah.
oh my God, great minds think alike sila. Grabe.
Kaya nga, parang laging
Oo.
may...
Sabi pa ni
Like,
Oli kanina, oy, di ba parang podcast lang to, so chill lang, ganun.
Kaya nga
Hindi ka naman na-expect na kailangan pala ng mga pa-pulse typing.
Kaya, sana pala sinabi nyo.
Sana sinabi nyo dahil. The joke lang. So yeah,
Alright.
pero yeah,
So, let's
we're
proceed.
thankful
Let's
talaga
proceed.
with this. Let's proceed.
Okay, so for our question number 3, what is the one thing that pushes you to be more eager in spreading your advocacy?
Should I ulit since?
Yeah, we go back to Kuhlyn.
Oh, one thing that pushes me to be more eager kasi like I've mentioned earlier, nung kami-kami pa lang, bantay sarado ako sa LinkedIn, okay? And I see a lot of my org mates and batchmates super stacked ng experience section nila sa LinkedIn. And you know, I'm not discouraging you guys to like not attend like mag-reach out to internships kasi ako personally, I'm part of a lot of orgs and the very reason why I am advocating for, actually going back, my advocacy talaga na sinabi ko earlier is maintaining a work-life balance. And the reason why I'm eager to advocate for this is because I have experienced a point like in my sophomore year or freshman year, I had a lot on my plate, pero kasi like Ollie said earlier, kapag, you know, there are a lot of opportunities coming to you and kapag hindi mo ina-accept, parang you feel like you're missing out and there's this dreadful feeling na may buta sa dibdib mo pag wala kang ginagawa. And that was an incredibly stressful experience for me. Knowing how to say no, learning how to say no, it was incredibly difficult. So, I think that's something that us youths need to understand. You know, you go out there, experience as much as you can, but at the same time, learn when to say no. And siguro para maidagdag ko lang din, this work-life balance, it's not just something na we should master, it's also something that adults, our employers, you know, people in power should be able to understand why this is important. Bakit ang big deal ba ng mental health? Bakit, you know, understand na it's an intersectional issue. You know, pupunta din yung economic aspect dito, social aspect dito, cultural aspect dito. Bakit ba biglang nag-boom yung mental health issues in the youth ngayong generation natin? And the adults, our employers, people in power need to understand that this is not something, you know, it's not random. It did not come out of, you know, it's not something na biglang nang naisip i-trend ng mga bata ngayon. It's intersectional, it's multifaceted. And understanding that, babalik lang tayo dun sa point na you need to have a balance, work-life balance. You know, you can aim high, but at the same time, learn how to breathe. I hope that makes sense. Ikaw, Ollie.
Ako naman, for me, I want to focus specifically dun sa part ng sinabi mo ng intersectionality regarding what they are feeling right now. Kasi these feelings don't just come out of the blue. And natatawa ko kanina when you were asking kasi feeling ko lalabas yung pagka-blue Atenean heart ko. But as the professors kasi would tell us, we were given the privilege that others were not granted. And as I've mentioned before, I have experience in reaching out to professional help, which a lot of youth today are afraid to do or do not know how to do. And that's part of the reason why I'm eager to push this advocacy kasi I'm one of those people who've experienced that kasi. And even in those little moments na kunyari may problem si Jutay, chat ko siya na I'm gonna share with you something that my therapist told me, parang ganon. Pero I always have to tell people na you have to take, I have to tell the audience as well na you have to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Like yung sinasabi nga sa TikTok. And it's in my good nature to help those who cannot reach these necessary resources. As Coco mentioned previously, itong intersectionality na to, itong lack of resources natin to avail these help for mental health or even have access to the internships that actually gives us stress. Parang lahat tayo hindi pantay-pantay dyan eh. It's just a statement of fact in life. Pero from personal experience kasi high school and sometimes even college people don't know how to approach professionals or seek help. In moments na I can see na psychological well-being and mental health ay nasi-stigmatize or nare-reduce to weakness or lack of faith, it really fuels me up. It's another thing that makes me eager to push for this advocacy. Para bang I want my fellow youth to see na they're not defined by means available to them. It's just part of their own intersectionality. They are also not defined by the emotions they feel, but rather I want people to see na they are so much more than one thing, but a collection of all of those things. You are more complex than you think. So it's so natural to feel overwhelmed. Babalik tayo dun. It's so natural to not understand yourself kasi minsan you are hard to understand. So it really takes time. So you have to cut yourself some slack when you feel so much pressure in understanding yourself. So when a person does not see it that way, fine, I respect your beliefs, but it tells more about what you are in your current state and how much more growing you can do. It tells more how you see yourself as one-dimensional, where in fact, you are so much more. So, isa yun sa mga things na nagiging eager ako. I want people to see na there's so much more than what they think. I want people to see their full potential. Ayun lang.
Can I add something very quickly? Sorry to our host. Very quickly lang. It's about this intersectionality topic. And just to make things clear, for example, ang ibig sabihin ng intersectionalities, for example, you make a law protecting women sa US. Tapos it turns out that this law only protects women, white women, not women of color. So nandun yun. When you're making laws, for example, you have to take into account race, poverty, economy, na inclusive, na lahat maapektan. So when you're thinking about your future, for example, bakit ako nandito pa rin, sila nandoon na, think about the multiple facets. Yung layers, bakit nandito ka pa rin? Baka they have the privilege na you happen to don't have. So anong pwede mong gawin? And these are things, in any conversation, understanding that things are multifaceted really helps. So, maybe it would help you a little bit. Kung ako, like, for example, when I looked at Jutai's LinkedIn, I was wondering, bakit ang dami nang nakalagay? Bakit ako wala pa rin? So, I sat down saglit and I thought to myself, ano ba yung mga available na opportunities in the first place para sa akin? And how could I maximize all those opportunities in the first place? Para hindi ka ma-stress,
Ayan, short add lang din ako doon. Since, ayun nga, hindi mo makakategorize yourself into one specific thing. So, whenever someone tells you an advice regarding mental health, you have to take it with a grain of salt. And it's always nice to seek help, professional help, kasi mas mafo-focusan niya yung current state mo with all your intersectionalities. Now, you're not just a woman, you're not just a person of poverty, you're not just this or that. Kasi, ayun nga, may sarili-sarili tayong backgrounds tulad ng sinabi ni Joaquim kanina before. So like, that's what I want people to see na there's so much more than what they know. So it's okay to seek help. It's okay to feel overwhelmed.
Ayan, nakamute pala ako.
Nice.
So yeah, talk pala ako ni Kuhlyn, no? So ayun, sinabi nga kanina ni Kuhlyn kanina, someone commented FOMO daw or fear of missing out. Pero yeah, mahirap talaga if you think you are missing out on opportunities, but you also need to balance life kasi not everything is about work, not everything is about money. And yeah, people, like Ethan said, people are complex, since not all have the same nature and nurture. So that's from my psych class naman. So yes, plus I think na it is important also na you know the things that pushes you to continue advocating for the things you believe in. Kasi yung mga experiences, backgrounds nga ni Kuhlyn and ni Ollie with that. So
ako, for me naman, kasi I know a lot of people or certain people na ganyan yung FOMO, yung may fear of missing out talaga. Kasi parang they feel na the world is revolving faster and faster every day. And nape-pressure sila eh. So, I can't deny na minsan ako nafe-feel ko yung ganun. Pero syempre, I try to think, kumbaga, outside the box. Kasi everyday, yun nga, I have this mantra na the world's getting tougher and tougher every day. So you need to be tougher and tougher every day also. So, di ba? So parang, kumbaga ang pinaka sinasabi doon is, isihan mo lang yung sarili mo. Kumbaga, relax ka lang. And pwede kasing, dahil nga napapressure sila sa paligid nila, minsan nga sinasabi, tulad ng sinabi ni Kuhlyn kanina, na baka may ibang tao, bakit sila ito narating na to, ito, andito na sila, ito na yung ginagawa nila. Kumbaga, ang excuse kasi nung iba, parang I don't have these material things ganyan, hindi ko kaya ito, hindi ko ganyan. Parang, ewan ko, for me, it's not about what you have It's about what you do with what you have. So, ayun, yun lang din gusto kong i-share na isa sa pinaka iniisip ko in times na ako mismo is nape-pressure. Kumbaga, ayun. And of course, we need to ask for guidance from professionals. And of course, ako, nagpe-pray ako lagi pagka ganun eh. So, ayun.
Lord, ikaw na bahala.
Lord na bahala. Si Batman na ang bahala.
So, a common understanding talaga is you don't need to do yung ginagawa ng iba. Kasi, common nga na you have your own strengths. So
run at your own pace.
Yep, you run at your own pace. So, that's it for that segment. Wow. So, okay, for the next question, how do you handle lost opportunities or regrets like ventures, offerings, or internships that you missed, Ollie?
I think that's a good question to follow on what Waki said, no? Kasi nga, when life gets tougher and tougher, you get tougher and tougher as well. But I also want to remind you this, as I told my friends, Jutay and Coco, na the life is already tough. Why be tough on yourself? So you have to cut yourself some slack. So you have to let yourself breathe. Ayan, I just want everyone to remember that. Kasi that's part of regrets. Regrets is actually like weighing you down. It's keeping you in the past. For this one, I want to tell you this one thing my therapist keeps telling me, that you are not your past self. And if you are trying to grow, you could only work with the things that you can control. So if it's already in the past, you can't really do anything about it. But when it comes to working yourself, you have to understand that. Let me take this moment na rin, to share with you the things, this one TED Talk by Caroline Miss, who says na, let it be part of your prayer. Kaya ako nung sinabi ni Waki na, minsan pinagpe-pray niya na lang kasi there are times na you can actually just hope for the better and pray for the good things to come. And dito, si Caroline Miss sa TED Talk na to, sabi niya, let this be part of your prayer. Na you look at things and say na, this will be the last time I'm seeing this dog in the park, the last time I hug my friends, or something like that. But not in a way na you passing away, but rather having to encounter things the way it is at exactly that moment. With that thinking, you'll have more gratitude to utter into your affirmations. Mas marami ka magiging thankful for. You will be glad you're taking the next chance, if not taking the last chance. The gratitude replaces your regrets. Instead of weighing down, you actually thank it for passing by. So if you miss it, you take the next one. It's as simple as that. You can't really go back. You just have to move. Not really move forward. You can move sideways, backwards, kahit ano. Basta you have to move. You don't want to be stuck ruminating in the past kasi it only weighs you down. So living in regrets don't really help you move forward. Para bang yan yung science ng saan ka mas mababasa kapag umuulan? Kapag nakastay ka lang dyan na walang payong o tatakbo ka na papunta dun sa destination mo. Either way, mababasa ka. Either way, dadating yung opportunity. Pero would you rather be stuck in regret or would you rather to move on to the next opportunity? Diba? With this shifting of perspective, like my therapist says, some things pass by tangentially. Like in one point in our life lang. So when it comes, you greet it with your whole heart. And when it leaves, you thank it for coming. Ayan lang. How about you, Coco? What do you think about that?
The beautiful words, Ollie. I don't think I can add anything more to what you said kasi that's so perfectly said. Kasi as you've mentioned, it's much better to move. Kahit saan pa yan, basta move, don't be stuck. I think naman there's nothing wrong with looking back, So specifically talking about work, for example, if you fail to get an internship, sometimes what's good for youth like us, it's to take initiative. If you missed out on an internship or maybe you didn't get hired, for example, hindi ka na-accept, there's nothing wrong with emailing yung kung HR man yun, kung anong mali or kung ano yung pwedeng i-improve, and then work on what you have para sa next opportunities mo, na kung anong gagawin mo, kung anong pwede mo i-improve, right? So there's really nothing wrong. Every opportunity for me is a good opportunity. whether or not tatanggap ka or if you failed, kasi it's a learning experience. So again, do not be stuck. You can look back, but as much as possible, move. Use your knowledge to make your next move. Ayun lang.
Yeah, kaya nga, diba, sabi nga ng iba, okay lang na ang movement mo is paunti-unti, diba? Kaya nga, sabi nila, small progress is still progress.
Yeah, sana all are learning from this talaga kasi it's about understanding oneself And once you understand yourself, parang you can have this little bit of connection with other people na rin. Kasi you may not know exactly what they are going through, but you would understand more na we are all going through something, different things, and the best we could do is to be there for each other or to advocate for one another, to uplift one another, and the like. So, yeah.
Yeah, para feeling ko kasi the one key to understanding the self is also listening to others. Kasi baka hindi mo sure, hindi mo hindi mo alam na may ganito ka palang problem. Nung narinig mo sa iba, ay, parang ganun din ako. Diba? Parang mas naiintindihan mo yung sarili mo when you listen more sa ibang tao. Siyempre, especially sa friends mo, ganyan. And ayun, it helps talaga pagka you listen din and of course, pag na-apply mo siya sa sarili mo. Ayun. So, next, proceed na ba tayo, guys? Parang,
yes.
Grabe talaga.
Go.
Diba? Proceed na ba tayo? Chill lang tayo, diba? Okay. So, let's proceed. Since both of you are active in org and community building, can you share something regarding it that made you further progress on your advocacies?
Okay, so I'll go first. As I've mentioned earlier, marami akong orgs, but the two na pinaka-active ako is APAIR, which is Ateneo Project for in Asian and International Relations, and CASMV, Commission on Anti-Sexual Violence, yun, Misconduct and Violence pala. So, they're very different from what I said earlier, maintaining work and life balance. Pero what I learned juggling those different orgs kasi is that I genuinely love helping people. Hindi naman helping people, I genuinely love learning from other people. And I think that's the reason why I'm so attracted to joining these different orgs. Pero ayun nga, there was a point in time kasi, freshman year pa lang, I was already leading a project. It was a huge project. It was a flagship project sa APAIR. And after that, I was just so burnt out. Like, all he knows this, I was like talking to him. The next year, so they invited again if I want to do this project. I was like, I want to, but after what I experienced last year, feeling ko I just need to like slow down. And that was a really hard time. It's so hard to say no, especially when you know it's a good experience. Pero, you know yourself. Nobody knows you better than you do. And alam mo kung kailan mo kailangan mag-slow down. Alam mo talaga yon for real. Mukha lang hindi. Pero it's similar to what Joaquim said earlier. It's actually called in projects it's called post-processing. After what happened, you ask the people around you how it went, anong pwedeng gawin next time, kung process what's happening to you. That's a really, really good thing to do. And to gawin mong habit, it's to process what's happening before you make any big decisions. Ganon. So ayun, that's something that I was able to develop from all those orgs, all those experiences in my org. So you have to decide what is your priority and yung ano. So I want to clarify from all the things that I've said earlier, I'm not discouraging you to do a lot of things. As a matter of fact, if you think you can do it, go ahead. It's a really good experience joining orgs in and out of school. Pero ayun lang, know yourself, listen to yourself, befriend your emotions, and yun lang, learn when to slow down.
Ayan, exactly. Thank you for that transition of befriending your emotions, befriending yourself. Kasi sa tinagal-tagal ng usapan natin, we don't really know what befriending your emotions actually mean. But for this question, I want to focus on sa sinabi ni Coco kanina, on knowing your limits. Kasi not all people can see themselves that way. So siguro dun na ngayon papasok yung having a good support system, something reliable. Some people who would tell you na, oy, okay ka lang ba? Do you want to slow things down? Ganyan, ganito. Kasi Yun yung experience ko on things na sinalihan ko sa orgs. I have 2 orgs na ang pinag-volunteeran ko to help organize is actually HR based. And one of which nga yung sa APER na home org namin na we do regular welfare checks kasi we want people to know from our org na there's someone who's looking out for you. So even though na minsan hindi nagre-reply lahat, it's actually nice to know na someone cares, di ba? So siguro yung feeling na yun, parang it can go a long way, and you can also use that to pass it along to other people to share with them na someone cares about you, so you should care about yourself then. So sana malaman mo din through that na you should care about yourself then. And honestly, even before sa internship kay Senator Pangilinan, I've learned na resource accessibility has everything to do with growth, and knowing na we are not all equal for that matter, and we have to exert an extra effort for our personal growth, and hindi lahat meron ng support system na yan. Kaya yung befriending emotions na to, itong lahat ng sinasabi naming advocacies, you have to look at it in your own context. So like I've said before, na you take what resonates and you leave what doesn't. Pero nandito kami para sabihin sa'yo na you have to take care of yourself then.
Yeah, I think that's
BS
nice.
org daw, sabi ni tita.
Yeah,
True.
oo, mga BS org po yung nandito. Sorry. Nagpapahinga pa ba kayo? Oo, yun nga yung pinag-uusapan natin. Di ba dapat nga nagpapahinga? Tama, di ba? Mati ka na yan. Yeah. So, like what I said earlier, our experience nga, our ventures can really help us understand ourselves and help us be better people, kumbaga. Para next time na ganun ulit yung situation na maharap sa atin, ganun, we know somehow kung paano tayo mag-move forward from that. And yeah, it's good to know na other people relates to you, other people na ino-oversee ka, parang tinatanong ka kagaya ng sabi ni Ethan kung okay ba kayo, welfare check, vibe check, and everything like that. So, it's good din, no, na may org tayo na pwedeng masandalan to fight for what we believe in, to relate to what we want, ganun-ganon. So, yeah, that's
At ko lang
why
din, Juts, no? At ko lang, Juts, no? Kasi, just like what Ethan have said earlier, na there are people kasi na they feel like they're alone. Like, alone lang talaga, na wala silang friends na matatakbuhan when they have a problem, or yung makwentuhan man lang ng kahit anong gusto nila ikwento. Ganun. So, if you're in that situation for a very long time, parang you're on a separate world, on a dark world, na kumbaga ang hirap na lumabas. Kasi minsan you get used to the loneliness, and it's very difficult to get out of. Diba? So, as kunyari, yung personal, the fact that they will know, or they will know that they have someone to talk to. Yun nga, may mga orgs kayo na natatakbuhan, may mga people kayo nalalapitan. It's very nice to hear, and it's a great feeling for those people kasi syempre, they don't realize na it's a good feeling pala pag may nakwentuhan or nasabihan ng kasi 'di ba may mga times na pag nagkwento sila, dun sila iiyak, dun sila biglang iiyak na sobra, 'di ba? So after that good cry, parang ang sarap-sarap sa feeling ng ganun. So ayun, for those people out there na sa tingin nila wala kayong malalapitan, wala kayong magtatakbuhan, no, you have your family, you have your friends, and may mga tao naman na pwede nilapitan. You just have to speak up and help yourself.
Yeah.
I think meron akong gustong idagdag doon, having to contain all these emotions yourself is actually really hard, but learning to reach out is even harder. So not being able to reach out, you shouldn't be too hard to yourself about it, kasi everyone knows na hindi lahat kaya mong sabihin ng bigla-biglaan. Hindi lahat porket nararamdaman mo, alam mo kung ano ibig sabihin. So, siguro yun yung isa sa first step in understanding your emotions, na you have to first acknowledge na you're feeling them and you have an outlet. So, that's important kasi makocontain siya sa sarili mo eh. And sasabog ka eventually if you just keep it inside of yourself. And ayun lang. I'm happy na meron kang support systems if ever na within reach. Although it's good na kahit na hindi ka makaka-reach out sa kanila, na they're there. So siguro part na rin yun ng iba't ibang sectors or na you're belonging in even eto PsorPhil. I know and I can see sa mga posts ni Juta yan ng family niya na PsorPhil itself is a family, na I'm glad that you have each other's backs. And when it comes to things like this, even the talk itself on mental health awareness for the youth, I think it's really a big step for this company, for PsorPhil, na it tells its constituents na they really care about you. So I want to congratulate your members and even your host kasi thank you very much for taking initiative for talking about this.
Yeah. So yeah, that's true, no? Parang opening up, telling what you feel, it's really a process then. Hindi madali mag-open up ng mga nararamdaman mo, lalo na if it's very personal, and kunyari, yung previous experiences mo is not good. So, yeah, hopefully other people can know that also, and they parang bigyan nila ng time din yung people na they know for them to open up. Ayun, so that's it for the Q&A. Let's go, Aki.
Okay, so tapos na ang ating Q&A, guys. For our last portion, it would be the advocacy sharing. So you guys will be given about 3 minutes each to promote your advocacies. You can also share your works that helped you in fighting for these advocacies. So
I think Coco can
let's start
start.
with Coco.
Okay. As I've mentioned earlier, no, I have other orgs talaga na medyo mas specific ang kanilang advocacy. So I'd like to focus on that muna. I am part of CASMV, or the Commission on Anti-Sexual Misconduct and Violence. And one of the things that we advocate for really is to providing safer spaces. So not just for women, but for everybody. So I would like to siguro invite you guys to, if you're a freshman, if you're in college, or if you're you're an adult na, but you want to join organizations, communities, I highly suggest joining these kinds of communities. Protecting safe spaces is really important. We have to make people accountable for what they do. And the reason why, sexual harassment, those things happen is because there's nothing, kunyari, wala namang sa papel eh. Wala namang nagsasabi na pwede silang patanggalin after. That's usually the case kasi. Or maybe meron, but they find maraming buta silang makikita. And so having a community that really focuses on holding these people accountable to make it safer for your children, for your friends, for everybody, it's really important. And it's something that I'm very happy that I am part of, and I feel really fulfilled doing this. And I think that's something you can consider nga. Ayan, yeah, that's from me.
Before I speak for myself, gusto ko lang, wow, ang galing talaga ni Kuhlyn. Number 1 hype man mo ako. For me naman, I'm also part of those organizations, but I want to read one comment from the live. From Sir DJ, seek help when things get too much. That is so true. Kasi I have nothing to plug. I mean, yes, yung orgs ko, pero what I want to plug now is that yes, mahirap mag-seek ng professional help, but you can get at least what you want sa short-time counseling sa guidance and counseling office ng schools nyo. So whenever things get tough, you can always send an email to your guidance counselors or go to the first clinic you see. And tulad ng sinabi ko kanina sa hinaba-haba ng usapan natin, I haven't directly explained what my advocacy means, befriending emotions. I actually picked it up from what I've learned through reaching out to professional help. Na it's one of the first steps, and it's always one of the hardest kasi you can't always actively know and be conscious about all your decisions and all your feelings. So it's always a lifelong venture to actually do this. And I would want you to look at that this way. Being friends with someone means learning to listen and knowing what it feels to be heard. Knowing the value of company and cherishing their presence, kahit presence lang. being thankful for them for coming into your life, and kindly letting them pass into your life. This is what it means to befriend emotions. Then, in the midst of crises as teenagers or as young adults coming into college, it's understanding what and why you are feeling a certain feeling. It's acknowledging that there are so many more factors like yung we discussed before about intersectionality at play, such as your past, your temperaments, your hurt and love languages, your attachment styles, and not just the current situation or that made you feel that feeling. It is knowing that in kindness not only comes from others but also from you. The world is already tough enough on you. Uulitin ko. So why be tough on yourself? When life hits you with that full unit sa college, or deliverables, or internships, rejections, it goes a long way when you take time to give yourself assurance and validation that feeling overwhelmed means that you are trying. It means that you should take a pause to recollect. Like yung sa advocacy ni Coco, you should learn to say no. You should know the value of the balance between work and life. Every emotion itself has its own history, its own purpose. So it gives you a different perspective. Like, ito isa sa pinaka-exciting na shinare sa akin ng therapist ko. Even you feeling anger with such a negative connotation, ay pwede mo makita as it's you actually telling yourself that you are hurt, that you deserve better, or you are being mistreated. So, itong mga emotions na to, meron siyang value. Hindi lang siya basta-basta outburst. Your anger is that part of you that cares about you. So, that's part of understanding and befriending your emotions. It's knowing where they're coming from and what you can do about it. And feeling that feeling and not just pushing it back or not just venting it out of the blue.
So, thank you for everyone who watched tonight, to the 980 plus viewers tonight. Maraming salamat sa panonood. And yun, see you again next week with another exciting episode for Wellness Weekends Philippines every Saturday, 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. here at WWP 2.0. And we would like, of course, to thank our sponsor, Novartis Philippines.
Yes, you can check our updates for our WWP 2.0 on our new Facebook page. Just search Wellness Weekends Philippines and our official Facebook fan page, Psoriasis Philippines. So don't forget to follow and share our episode for tonight.
Yes, also check our YouTube channel. Simply search PsorPhil channel. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you will be notified whenever we upload new episodes.
Yes. So again, this is Jutes and with me is Wax and we are your hosts for tonight. See you again next week in our Wellness Weekends Philippines, your official channel for your weekly guide on health and wellness.
Yes, may we request our broadcast team to join us on the screen? Yan. Where's Direk? Direk, come on up.
Direk, let's go.
Hello. Thank you guys for watching. Kuhlyn, Ethan, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye guys. Thank you for
Thank
watching.
you.
Oh.